Hello, this is the attachments button template at SharePoint-dashboards.com. This template allows you to add a button to a SharePoint list view that will take you directly to a folder in a library for that list record. Very simple concept. If I click on this button, it pops open another browser window and I'm in a folder specifically for that SharePoint list record in my designated customer tracking library. I'm going to walk you through all the steps to set this up. So let me go ahead and close that window. In our SharePoint dashboards template screen, we can configure this to look how we want. You can change the button label if you wish. For example, I could change this to uploads. I could change the icon. I can configure this to work however I want. It is important that you get the library name that you're using. So in my case, I've got a SharePoint list, which I called customer tracking with a space in the name. And I need to create a SharePoint library to store these files. I created a library called customer tracking, which does not have a space in its name. You can choose whatever name you want for your library, but that's where the files are going to go. And the thing I need from the URL is the library name. Depending on whether you use spaces or special characters, that might have a special label, but the key thing is to copy that directly from the URL. So I've got that ready. And what I need to do is go ahead and paste that in for the library name. And then I can configure my other things which control the look and feel. That's everything I need from the SharePoint dashboards tool. I just click on copy template, follow these instructions, click OK, and then I can come back over to my site. I need to create a column to apply my template. I've already done that, but all you need to do is go to the column header, column settings, then format this column. And in this screen, click on switch to, you can click on the advanced link and then that will bring up the code window. Select all, paste, and then your template will be there. Now, in order to use this template, we need a simple workflow. So make sure you create that workflow first. In Power Automate, I need this simple workflow. This trigger is going to be when an item is created in my SharePoint list. I've already got my site and list selected, and I need to perform a single action based on my trigger condition. Again, I select the same site, and then for the list or library, I'm going to be selecting the library where I want a folder to be automatically created every time a new item gets added to my SharePoint list. What it's going to do is name the folder files and then append the ID of the SharePoint list record on there. That's it. That's everything you need in the workflow. The instructions are on the SharePoint dashboards template, so make sure you read those carefully. There is a link to an article which explains the workflow setup. And then another thing to consider is if you already have records in your SharePoint list, you'll need to automatically create those folders. Pretty easy to understand. What happens here is that it's automatically adding a folder in this library every time a new record is being added to my SharePoint list. Let's go ahead and add a new record just to see how this works. Now, you'll notice when you very first create this, it tells the user making folder. It's to let them know there is a little bit of time to wait before that folder is going to be created in the library. This can vary a little bit. The workflow typically will run anywhere between 60 seconds and a minute, but after a little bit of time, we'll see a folder here, but it does not happen instantaneously. And therefore, the template is set to show this message for the user for 90 seconds just so that they're not trying to click this link and then nothing's going to happen. So that is dynamic. So that's still pending, but that's pretty much everything that you need. This is a lot more flexible setup than using the regular SharePoint attachments, because SharePoint library functionality is much more flexible. It can allow drag and drop file load. It can allow for batch file loading. It can let you do subfoldering. I could add folders inside of this folder if I wish. And then I can do sorting and filtering and all kinds of things like that. So it really is a much more flexible approach in any situation where you've got a list where you need to attach records. So that's everything you need to know. You just need to make sure to follow all the instructions carefully on the list. And then once you've set that up, you'll have automatic generation of your folders for your list. And that's all there is to it. This template is available at SharePoint-dashboards.com. This is part of the subscription. If you have not yet used this tool, you can sign up for free access to gain access to 21 templates. The subscription includes more than 200 different templates, including this one that you can use. I hope you found that useful, and good luck.